Welcome back once again to the North American Star League. It is day number 3 of week number 5. But we're casting week number 4's game number 5. Day 5.
Game number 3 of division number 5.
Day 5, week 4, day 5, game 3.
Ben and numbers is a nightmare. We are casting week 4, division 5, map 3 between Jinro and Targa.
And I only hope that we can see one more Hydralisk. One more Hydra, Targa. And I'll be a happy camper.
Man, I've never seen that against Terran. I mean, against Protoss, of course, we all know the build, but against Terran, man, it would be so cool if it would have worked. Even though I like Jinro, of course, it would have been set for Jinro to lose.
If he hadn't chased that Banshee around, it would have worked. If he had just gone, let the Queens deal with the Banshee?
Yeah, he had Overseer. He had quite a few Queens, and he could have made Overseers because he already had
Jinro never holds that, because he had 3 Marines and no bunker at the time that the Banshee scouted that.
He had a few Hellions as well and stuff. I mean, it's not like he had absolutely nothing.
He had 4 Hellions.
Yeah, but
against like 13 Hydras?
I mean, the most important thing about the whole Banshee was scouting the Nidus, which allowed Jinro to get good positioning off and then only have to worry about his front. Well, we all know the real pain of Nidus is that it often comes unexpected and then you have one in your base. Then again, on Ohana, there's not that much room in your base, but I guess Targa could have found maybe a sweet spot.
I still feel like there's so many uses to the Nidus that we haven't seen truly explored. Can't wait to see Jaedong. Jaedong is going to play Muta-Nidus. He will. You heard it here first.
But I mean, it's not like nobody ever did Muta-Nidus, man.
When's the last time you saw Muta-Nidus?
On Tal'Darim, like often people do it.
Muta-Nidus?
Yeah, of course.
I've seen Hydra-Nidus a lot.
No, like you go Mutalisk and then you get Nidus later on.
You're right. Yeah, yeah.
Turn into base race.
Base race style. Yeah, that's also good. That's also good. But like Nidus has so many purposes. It's not just an attacking tool. It's not just a sneak attack. It can also be reinforcing. It can be retreating.
Yeah, like using it in reinforcement styles, like in CVP, that would be really cool. And later, like a really big map, maybe like Calm Before the Storm or something. That map seems really big. But you have like a Nidus somewhere in the middle of the map, close to your army.
Yeah. Just like rally your hatcheries to the Nidus entrance, and then like it's just like you got exits like at 3 or 4 different places, and you're reinforcing from every angle. Sounds pretty smart to me.
I really like what Jinro is doing over here. Jinro built his barracks over here. Yeah, on the low right, on the low side of the ramp, so he's going to be able to pick up this Overlord straight away. I like that a lot.
Oh, Jinro.
Getting high ground vision with that barracks, picks up that first Overlord from Targa.
Interesting piece of trivia. With the new Overlord speed, Overlords can make it to the little blue square behind the natural before Marines can kill them.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yep.
Your first Overlord?
Yep.
But wasn't this the first Overlord?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
but the new faster Overlord can get there.
I saw really cool comments on YouTube and they like showed both Overlords racing each other, and then someone said like, wow, I can see the top Overlord, but the bottom one is just like one big blur. Can you please play it in slow motion? That was good stuff.
Reminds me a little bit of the that animation that was like the Discovery Channel of the Zerg, and it's like, Hydralisk move faster on creep, and the Hydra's going, he's like super slow, super slow, super slow, then he hits the creep and goes, whee! And he goes like just a little bit faster. I laughed really hard at that.
The Hydras are actually really quick in speed. That's quick as roaches, man.
Wouldn't it be cool if in Heart of the Swarm there was a Hive tech upgrade for Hydras that gave them speed?
Yeah, yes and no. I don't know. The way that Hydras are right now, they're just not very useful in many purposes. Not just only because of their speed, but mostly because how extremely good Colossus are against them.
They are pretty useless. Couple of Marines doing some pressure here. You can see the old Queen jabbing away with her antenna, but still proving to be formidable.
Ugh. Jinro getting a small scout up, but Targa's more than just fine right now. Jinro is following this up, of course, with his own expand as well, as we can see. He's adding another Rex, and both refineries are going down. And now I kind of wonder if Jinro is once more going to try to follow this up with Cloak Banshee, and if Targa is going to try to make advantage of that, maybe go for another one of those bailing boss that you've been discussing, man, and that you're oh so fond of in the current metagame.
It's good, man. It's good in this triple orbital metagame. I've been doing it in my ladder games, and I've been beating a lot of Terrans. Some of them have been really mad about it.
Well, Dimaga is one of the first, not the first of course, but Dimaga really showed us.
The first guy to Baneling Bust, literally.
Oh yeah, that's true. In beta. Yeah, everyone was like, wow, how do you beat this? And then the Muslim was like the super genius Terran, because instead of building buildings here, he started building them here on the low ground of the ramp. It's like, wow, the Muslim, super smart Terran. That was so cool.
It was so funny back then. It's just like, that was a time when just it was all about the build. It's like whoever comes up with the next good build is going to win every tournament for a month. Dimaga wins like $20,000 just Baneling busting off one base.
Dima did it. I mean, he won a few tournaments in the beta, of course. But anyway, Targa tried to go for a small run by right now with a couple of those Zerglings, but didn't really manage to do anything besides get a small scout up. But he's been droning pretty hard. He's 14 workers ahead right now. 5 more are on the way. Steam is seems like Jinro is going for a similar push as he did on Shakura's. But now I really wonder, but now Bailingness going down once more for Targa.
Love it.
Man, this is like Shakura's all over again. Macro heads in the main. This is Shakura's.
Except Jinro didn't make Hellions this time, and it's hurting him badly. Targa's freely spreading creep. He's droning very, very heavily. He's going to be fully saturated on 2 bases after this next cycle. 7 creep tumors at a time, dude. So much creep spread. And now Targa just has to figure out A, what Jinro is doing, and B, how many units he wants to make to crush it.
And C, build additional overlords, because he already needed one, and then he sacrificed one, so he's going to need more. I would say he needs even more than, well, okay, with 2 overlords. And I guess he's yeah, he made 1 more, that makes sense. So he basically made 3 because 1 popped.
Oh, Jinro.
I got tricked by the production tab, man.
Jinro does build a 3rd command center. I think that's smart, because I don't think a push is going to work. Targa's he's in too good of a position. 3 hatcheries, lots of queens, so much larva at his disposal. There's no chance of like a 10-minute push working against Targa right now.
He has so many drones right now. Targa's at 64 supply. He has 51 drones. He's 20 workers up against Jinro. And Jinro, despite going for a triple orbital command, or triple orbital build, as you say, I do feel that this is a little bit later than most of the triple orbitals we've seen.
I do too. I do too. This is more like Jinro's getting ready to take his 3rd base, not power SCVs off of 3 command centers on 2. Targa, though, is doing kind of what we said. He's saturated. He doesn't need more drones, so he's just going to start building units. He's getting his lair.
Wow, Jinro is playing so extremely blind this game, man. That's insane. It's crazy what Hellions do for a Terran. You can really see it in scenarios like this. Now, actually, Jinro is finally going to move out. Not sure if he's going to bring all those bio units or not.
Marine Hellion push. This is never going to work. I mean, it could work, but if Targa sees just the first sign of it, Banelings and Speedlings are all he needs. And it will come right to the edge of his creep. The Queen stares down the Hellions, and what is Targa's reaction? He immediately makes 28 Zerglings. Hasn't made any Banelings yet. He might not even need Banelings.
I'm so surprised that Jinro didn't do the traditional Hellion opening, because right now, what are you ever going to achieve? And there's this much creep spread. I must say, Targa really didn't slack on the opportunity, though. He just went all out. Made 7 tumors at once several times, and now he has creep spread on his side of the map, and he's completely fine. He bought himself so much time.
Oh, hello, Marines. So now Targa knows. We should see him morphing some Banelings back home. And
but he did force his stim, or he's going to lose that Overlord, but he forced the first stim.
Aren't you building Banelings? I guess he just doesn't care about building it. Wow, Jinro's stimming a bit too much here. Now Targa's going to pick a fight, realizing, hey, those Marines don't have much health.
That's so good. Beautiful positioning, though, by Jinro. I'm not sure. Well, Targa's, I guess he's going to be fine, but he's losing a lot of Hellions. I mean, a lot of Zerglings.
Yeah, I mean, he could have done that better. But either way, he's still in great shape. And now Jinro's the one that's in trouble, Kev, because look what he's got back at home. Pretty much nothing. No tanks, just a handful of Marines. He's got a single bunker at the front, no 3rd base. Targa's got total control, and he could just do the same thing he did on Shakura's.
Yeah, he's making Inspire once more. He still has a lot of drones. He lost only a few over there. He's going to try to get a poke on him. He sees a bunker, he sees those spidey posts, but he doesn't really see anything else.
Is he going to make Banelings?
I think he will, but there's no reason not to. He has a lot of resources as well, by the way.
He's also, well, I could have just said he wants to make a bunch of mutas.
Yeah, that, of course. But if he wants to go Banelings, he could have done it.
I guess we're not going to see any Banelings. We're going to see
meet us. So we're going to see a long, dragged-out game. I mean, maybe he just felt that he wouldn't be able to get all those links across the map in time.
Well, these mutas could still realistically end this game. Jinro's he's starting his upgrades, but he's not got much. And how many Marines are out? It's 19 Marines. It's going to be 13, 14 mutas. It's going to be really tough to use those limited number of Marines to really control your bases, even if you're only on 2 bases.
Jinro having 1 Viking on the map now as well. Probably going to try to spot a couple of Overlords, but there are really no Overlords on this side of the map. Besides this one, which starts dropping creep, but the Marines are right on top of that. Good job right there by Jinro. I love that, man.
Targa's still being so active about this creep spread. He's using a Queen, just dedicating her to dropping new tumors. Would like to see a 4th base out of Targa, honestly. There's really no reason for him to be this slow about taking a 3rd and a 4th. I mean, it's 13 minutes.
Yeah, but he lost his 3rd.
Yeah, but that was 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, he instantly rebuilt it pretty much as soon as the army was cleaned up. But yeah, it delayed everything quite a bit. Then again, he had so many drones on 2 bases that his economy was still pretty healthy. That's why he has so many Mutilates out right now.
Jinro has been...
he has a few missing too.
He's had the time he needs to sort of reach a point that he can move out and take that third base, but he's going to have to be very, very careful about these. But look at the creep spread of Targa. It is just everywhere on the map right now.
This is kind of like how you watch a ZVP where Protoss just turtles on 3 base and gets Colossus Void Ray. You know, back in the old days when the entire map was covered in creep.
Yeah. If you were to watch this replay at ×8, the creep would never actually stop moving. It's just like slowly just covers everything. A little bit of meter harass here in the main base of Jinro. He will chase it away, but not before losing a couple turrets and a handful of SCVs.
I like that Jinro is getting a bunker here straight away because he really needs that. Of course, that was already an orbital, so he cannot upgrade it to a planetary fortress anymore, and just it makes it too vulnerable if it's just a single orbital and so susceptible for Ling run buys and all that stuff. So I think it's smart, always get a bunker. You might lose a little bit of supply when you put a couple of Marines in it, but I think it's completely worth it.
Targa's really given Jinro a lot of time to stabilize, and this game's looking very even to me at this point. I thought there was a pretty large window that Targa could have crammed some Banelings through. But as it is, Jinro is looking pretty strong on 3 base, getting those upgrades going. He's working on 2-2 now, as Targa's just now getting his +2 melee attack and a second Evo chamber. Infestation Pit also going down for the Zerg player, so we will see him moving up to Hive, getting those critical infestors out.
Picking off a lot of Marines right now, but he has to be careful as well with those mutas, because he did lose 2, I believe, in the process. But I guess that was a decent trade. He killed a missile turret as well, and he's...
Yeah, I love it when Zergs are not afraid to fight Marines with their mutas. Like this is not a big number of Marines, and Targa knows it. He's going to fly right in there and just pick up every single Marine. He'll kill the Viking as well. And now Jinro's got to scramble a little bit. He's sending more units back, and Targa just backs off once again, forcing Jinro to really turtle hard and buying himself all that critical time he needs to get the upgrades and the tech in place.
And he's at 80 drones right now, spread over 4 bases. So right now, Targa's economy is actually better than it's been throughout this entire series, pretty much. No Hive on the way yet, though. He's just gonna... Wow, he's making more drones now, even. I guess just for a couple of spores and spines as well. Yeah, that makes sense, of course.
And now you ask yourself, where does Jinro take his next base? They're all going to be covered in creep soon. As Targa has continued to work on spreading that creep. Finally, Jinro pushes, and he's like, oh, there's a creep tumor in my base.
Yeah, scanning as well, taking out a couple of those tumors in the middle of the map. Big swarm of Lings right now.
Don't kill the active tumor, Jinro! But it does go down, and so Targa actually pacifist Zerglings now.
Wow, he lost a lot of creep tumors right now. It's about time to take out these Marines. So sad, he had so many creep tumors over here. Excellent creep spread.
It's always really depressing for like a Zerg player. It's like, oh, I worked so hard
on that.
One scan and it's all gone. To be fair, that was about 3 scans, 4 scans, but still.
Yeah, it took
I'm still going to feel spiteful about it. 2-2 and +2 flyer attack all on the way for Targa. These mutas going to be pretty powerful, and more so than that, the Broodlords that are sure to follow are going to be super nasty with lots of attack upgrades even for the Broodlings.
Don't you think it's crazy how blind Jinro has been throughout this entire game?
Yeah, I mean, he's been dropping scans here and there, but you're absolutely right. He has no idea how many bases Targa has.
The only scans he actually used were for those creep tumors, and the rest of the game, everything he has seen was with that first little push with those Hellions and Marines. That's literally all he has seen on Targa's side of the map. Feels like Jinro just doesn't care what Targa does on his side of the map. He just feels as long as I do my part correctly, I seem to be just fine, which surprises me.
I'm a little concerned. Jinro's only got 8 tanks. If Targa were to just morph, I don't know, 50 Banelings, he could probably roll right through the army of Jinro. 30 Banelings are going to be made here. There's also infestors out. And the muta count is still pretty formidable, 17 plus 2 mutas.
It's scary enough to actually be able to clear up a rest overs pretty easily. A lot of Banelings. We have a couple of infestors
no
as well.
Speed. That's a big oversight by Targa.
We have 6 Banelings. Wow, he didn't research Baneling speed?
But he is getting the oh-so-important adrenal glands upgrade, Kev.
I saw that.
We all know what that means.
That means he's in really good shape right now.
That means Jinro can't possibly win adrenal glands. The GG button for Zerg.
Seems like Targa is setting up a really big attack. He's getting more and more Banelings. He's going to have to deal with this drop in his main base, though.
Careful with the mutas. Yeah, this is a pretty good drop. Well, there's Spine Crawlers and Queens there. And plenty of energy for transfusions.
Targa's doing this really well. But he is... I guess he's going to
still lose a little bit there. Meanwhile, Jinro trying to poke forward in the middle of the map. Going to work on killing the 5th base of Targa. Targa's being very patient, just sitting back, biding his time.
He's waiting for that adrenal glands upgrade. Targa knows.
He knows. He definitely knows. The drop finally gets completely dealt with. Jinro scanning to see the tech of Targa. Sees that the Spire has not turned into a greater Spire, so that has to give him some relief.
I mean, he positioned all his units like he was about to go for it, but he's just waiting. He wants to be maxed out once more. Maybe he's just He waits until Jinro is on siege. Maybe Jinro pulls a Strelok. No, he's not going to wait for that.
Oh, he is just going to go for it right now. Baneling's going to waddle in. These are not rolling Banelings, but they're still very scary nonetheless. Jinro splits up his Marines a little bit, but they're not the best Marine splits, and fungal growth really makes it hard to micro your Marines as Targa does crush through Jinro's army. At the end of days, it's 140 supply to 165 favoring the Zerg player.
And Jinro did finally secure this fourth base, so that's going to help him out a little bit. But Targa's economy has been so good for such a long time that I mean, he has more units in the, more money in the bank as well. Jinro's going to try to take out this hatch. I don't think Targa's going to end up losing it though. Yeah,
he's got a lot of lings there. He's being very patient about how he goes about engaging this, but there's just not that many units for Jinro. Now Targa's going to go. Funnels the medevac because that's exactly what you need to do in these situations. Man, Targa is serious about cleaning this up. Drops like all of his infestor energy. But he does clean it up, and Jinro forced to back up to his fourth base, but Jinro does have the fourth base. Yeah. That's the real critical point here. He's got a staging ground, a place that he can reinforce and fall back to.
He has so many SCVs which are actually not really mining. He should have transferred them quite a while ago because he's actually losing out on a lot of money right now.
Yeah.
Having all these SCVs on these 2 mineral patches and having all these SCVs on 1 mineral patch.
And you can kind of see it reflected in his economy. He does not have many minerals banked up, Kev. Ultra's on the way for Targa. I'm a little surprised that he goes Ultra, given that he had the Spire Tech out, but I don't mind it much because he's going to... Wait a second. I do mind it. I would prefer Broodlords first. I retract that statement.
Why would you lie about something like that? Huh?
I didn't mean to lie. I just misspoke.
I really like what Jinro is doing over here, like forcing Targa out of position by dropping in the left top side of the map, and then on the exact same moment he stims and picks up this hatchery. So slowly but steady, Jinro is really crawling his way back into this game, because Targa has been pretty dominant ever since. I mean, he might have lost or ended up losing that third hatch, but after that he just recovered so extremely strong. His economy was really strong throughout the entire game, and he had absolute map control that he's been pretty much ahead since then.
Great map awareness here by Targa, picking up this drop before it's able to do any damage. Medevac gets shot down by the mutas. If I were coaching Targa and I could make one suggestion, I would say, Targa, stop putting everything on one hotkey, because every time he sees anything, his entire army moves, and that's something that you can really exploit.
He doesn't group the mutas.
If you notice it.
He has the mutas in a different hotkey.
I think the mutas are in both groups, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I don't think he does it.
Oh, you're right. You are correct, and I am wrong. And Targa is on the move once again. So many Banelings. That's not my catchphrase. That's Artosis' catchphrase. Nah. How dare I?
Nobody would ever try to steal that. We all know. 22 more Banelings on the way. They are completed right now. Burrow is being researched as well for Targa. Targa, his map, I mean, it's so nice to play PvZ like this when you have creep spread like this, man. He has creep spread over here on the top, his army is in the middle, and he has creep spread on the bottom as well, and he still has some active tumors.
It's not a tumor, but it is. It is a tumor. Jinro's still maxed out, though, and he's not freaking out, man. He's being very patient. He knows that in the late game, a Terran army is typically more cost-effective than a Zerg one, unless Zerg's able to get one of those just dream engagements with big fungals and lots of surface area on the attack.
I'm surprised that Jinro hasn't been trying to take this fifth base yet. Why not just float over this orbital from your natural or the one from your main? What's stopping you?
Because it's covered in creep, man.
This one?
Yeah. Oh no. Never mind. Never mind. Retraction. That'd be a long way to fly.
Yes.
What if he ran out of gas? He would crash in the middle of the map. All the husbands and wives of the SCV drivers would be devastated.
That would be. Certainly if 5 men were on board. But it's an orbital, so nobody can drive.
How many people does it take to fly an orbital?
1.
No, man. One guy can't fly an orbital.
Yes, he can.
How in the world would you ever park that thing?
Mirrors, man.
You probably have those big round mirrors. Targa going to try to drop some infested Terrans on these siege tanks, and he will succeed in getting a couple kills there. So nicely done as Jinro tries to inch forward. Look at this one hopeless Marine. Oh, no, you're not going to see it. He's fighting the queens. Look at him. He's such a hero. I got this, guys!
He's surviving for a very long time with 3 upgrades. He took like 1 damage.
That was Billy's last stand. Targa still holding the line. I don't know what he's waiting. Oh, he's waiting for Broodlords. He's got a couple Broodlords finishing up. Now he's going to go with a single Broodlord. Targa rushing forward. Zerglings, Banelings, Ultras, and oh so many queens. Here come the Broodlords up from behind, and wow. Why did Zergs ever stop building Banelings is what I want to know.
Oh, he's not there yet. Jinro still has 147 supply, but of course these ultras are starting to get really scary right now. There are a few marauders in the mix. Jinro is not out of this yet, man. He's actually pretty close in supply. And this is a planetary after all. He has a Tor over here.
The money kind of favors Targa as he goes and makes 8 ultras at once, immediately remaxing. Broodlord's going to continue to rain down these 3 Broodlords with Queen support, no less. Even dropping Transfusion on ultras. I really like that a lot. Gives a lot of extra life to this army. Infestors are completely out of energy, but the Zerglings are as high-spirited as ever. Adrenal glands doing that work. Jinro really micros this pretty well.
Yeah, this is excellent positioning, and Targa realizes it makes no sense to fight over there while he can fight at so many other places.
Ultras are so stupid.
Why?
They're just dumb. Like, I don't think they passed the kindergarten exam. They're just like, can I fit through these 2 minerals? I'm going to try. I'm really going to try. I can do this. It's like the Ultralisk is the guy that tries to cram the square through the round hole in that little children's story.
I know.
It never works, Ultralisk. You're not going to fit.
I mean, Jinro is trying to hold on for his dear life, but Targa is just still maxed out and still producing many units. I guess when Jinro sees all these ultras coming in as well, he's going to realize what time it is. And Targa, man, holding it down in the NASL. First defeating, I mean, he lost against MC and QXC.
He beat Sheth, and now he's beating Jinro. He's apparently the liquid killer.
Wow.
Targa is like...
That's not a way to get popular, man.
What kills liquid? Targa is like, he's the sham Wowzerg. I just stole that joke from Frodan, but it's okay. Shout out to Frodan for letting me borrow his joke. The sham Wowzerg mops up Jinro and the rest of Team Liquid, taking the series down 2-1.
Wow. That's really, really impressive. I don't think many people would have predicted Targa to be 2-2 in this division after 4 weeks. I think that's mad. And even his games against QXC was really good in Game 2, and Game 3 looked promising as well. But then QXC played really well. Mad props.
What's going to happen when Targa gets a good internet connection? He's just going to win everything.
He's going to be the best player in the world.
Let's take a look at his last fight with Jinro there. As everything unfolds in the middle of the map. Artosis would say, so many Banelings, as they all go crashing forward. And I'm serious, man. Why did Zergs ever stop building Banelings? They are so good. Everything that clumps just evaporates. And Targa just never stops moving forward until the beach balls get in the way. Notice how the Ultras constantly trying to fit through holes that they're just not meant to fit through.
Okay.
They are so dumb.
I'm keeping my eyes open.
I mean, they tried to fit through the infested Terrans. Now they're going to go try to run behind the minerals.
I don't see it.
An Ultralisk is like a really dumb dog.
No.
Yeah. You know, throw the stick and he just runs in the opposite direction.
Yes, it's so bad, man, at the Ultras. Ultras have feelings too, man. What are you thinking?
I mean, it's like the unit that you love, but you don't because he's kind of annoying. It's like you tell him not to get up on the couch, and then you come back and your couch is just crushed because the Ultralisk tried to sit on it.
Yes, man, I get it. Oh. I just pictured walking in my living room and seeing Ultra sit on the couch. That's pretty cute.
It's like your couch is just gone. It's just an Ultralisk laying where your couch used to be.
He's like, you can sit on my bed.
He's got like his head on his little paws. Oh man, my microphone comes off every time I giggle.